Sup, everybody? It's your main man Bennett back here and again. He's back here and again. And welcome to the show. It's the All About It podcast. What can I say? Thank you for joining us today. And every Tuesday we have a new episode of this show. Welcome to episode 119. And if you're at all concerned that this is just a podcast featuring your main man, Bargles Man 5000, you do not need to fear. I wouldn't do that to you. I think that would be almost like cruelty to animals if we had a full hour of me just doing this shtick. So, with that being said, it's Arielle.
Oh my god. Hello, everybody. Just call me a girl in a dress.
You just called to say...
Last night, Bargles was like, what if we had a whole episode of us just singing? And I said, I quit the show.
I would personally...
So sorry.
I'd really like to do that.
Really? I'd like to jump into the coffee table then.
I know that's an expression you readily use. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there is a group of people out there. And if you're out there, please let us know in the comment section below. Let us know via email, allaboutitpodcast@gmail.com, or allaboutitpodcast on Instagram. Would you be at all interested in an entire episode like an opera?
All about singing.
It would just be... no, actually, I think that it wouldn't be all about singing.
All about getting canceled. All about ruining my career.
No.
All about diving into the coffee table.
It would be about a topic like all the other episodes. The only subtle difference is, and actually it's not subtle at all, it's a pretty damn big difference, is we would sing-song the whole thing, a la Cinderella.
I don't think we'd be able to get through it.
Carmen, you know.
Carmen?
You know, Carmen.
Is that the...
It's a musical.
Okay.
It's an opera.
Okay.
Opera/musical.
Fine. I'm going to move on because I'm sad that you think that that's a reality possibility. And to anyone who wants that, I'm unable to point you in the direction of other podcasts that do that because it doesn't exist.
We do not have a quality assurance department here at the production facility, and so we rely on you, our faithful viewer and listener, to give us the nod, the tip of the cap to just move on.
We don't have that, and we barely have ourselves. Okay?
We're
hanging on.
So,
okay,
let's go ahead.
Here we go.
Review the week. Wife, go.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'd like to give a shout out.
Oh, we're doing the prayer.
To an 11-day-old baby.
Oh.
We have a new niece, and her name is Brooklyn. My brother and his wife had a baby. Yay, yay, yay.
Consummated.
Brooklyn Rose Vey.
It's a powerful name, I think.
I love Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Rose Vey.
She's so cute. She's home from the hospital. Mama and baby are good. And I just had to pronounce that.
Okay, thank you much.
Were we doing... No, we started the podcast after Sebastian was born. So we did not announce his birth on the show.
Yeah, I think he was born in November of 2018.
So just months before the launch.
Right.
But there you go. Sebastian is an older brother. He loves his monster truck. Okay.
He does love monster trucks.
So, on another note, continuing on with the Aries season, it was Bargles' birthday. And we forgot to mention it last time.
Hey,
I forgot to mention it last time.
I'm the big 3-3. That's when you put 3-3 together.
Don't tell them.
Oh, why?
I'm just kidding. I don't care.
I'm 33. Can't change it.
I don't care.
Can't change it.
Change the name, lose a girl. So Bargles had his 33rd birthday. We had a few family members over, and your father was in town.
My father.
He was actually staying with us all week last week, which was such a blast. Got a little dose of Jerry.
I am very much my father's son, and I think I'm becoming more and more like him as I get older. I think he's becoming more like me as well. We're both kind of forming into just like the same guy.
But the more that I get to know, I know your parents pretty well at this point, but the more that I get to know them, the more of your mom I see in you.
I see.
Too. And I think that you think you are becoming Jerry, but I also think that there are certain parts of Fernie in you too. It's a combo of both.
Good.
Love it.
Fair enough.
Jerry was here. We had fun. We went out to lots of different places to eat. Right?
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
And we celebrated Barkle's birthday.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, and thanks for the cake.
You're welcome. I
And
made
tequila.
I made a boxed yellow cake with chocolate frosting, and then I sprinkled chopped up Trader Joe's mini peanut butter cups on top. The chopping of those was not a good idea. Well, it worked out, I thought. It worked out.
Loved it.
I could have just put them on their whole.
I really enjoy birthday cake.
And then the other thing, if you didn't know, Bargles and I celebrate birthdays close in date. How would you say that? How do you say that?
You said it. You just said it.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like grammatically correct.
Your birthday's the 19th. Mine's the 7th.
They're close in date.
Yes. Proximity chronologically is, suffice it to say, is close proximity.
I have no plans for mine.
Okay.
No plans.
So I need to do something then. All
Yeah,
right.
you sure do.
Very well.
Oh,
then.
I did a scavenger hunt for you. You got a new wardrobe, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you
For aging.
For finding all your gifts in a timely manner from my scavenger hunt.
Continuing to age is something that I do, and I do it very regularly.
And you do it well.
In fact, aging is one of my. Well, I don't want to spoil what today's episode may or may not be about, but
Do not. We're not ready.
oh, we're not ready. Okay, fair enough. Let her rip.
The other thing I wanted to mention is that we, maybe as you saw online, we did travel. We traveled for about a full week, and then had a few days, and then Jer Bear came to stay for a little under a week. So we're feeling like today is the first day of really getting back into the swing of things. And I feel like my emotions have just been like up and down all around.
Today?
Just over the past like 10 days, I would say.
Sure.
I mean,
But how are they
have you noticed?
You know, how about today? We can
Today's great.
We can do a deep dive into all of the ups and or downs, allegedly, of the past several days and or weeks or so. But you know, I just think that we should live in the now, the present moment, and let's do our audience a service and tell them everything is good and wonderful in my life and yours as well. So we can move on then, shall we?
Okay, I will mask my fears, insecurities, and doubts and tell you what.
What today's episode's all about? And yeah, you should do that. It's the polite thing to do.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You think so?
Don't
The polite thing to do.
Do not unburden yourself.
What is this Renaissance?
Yeah, no, I read Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven this
Oh my
morning.
God! Wait, can I just say one thing before
What?
I say what the episode's all about? So, the other day, Bargles pulled up "Once Upon a Midnight Dreary." Is that the one?
Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, that's the beginning of it, and it's like paragraph by paragraph by paragraph. And I'm in the kitchen
It's one of the best.
I'm doing a bunch of stuff in the kitchen. I swear to God, I looked at the computer and he's reading it. I swear, and maybe this is just me being weird, I swear 45 minutes went by and I turned back and you were still on that same page on the computer.
It was not 45 minutes. It was maybe 45 seconds.
No
But good to
way.
know what it feels like to have me do that. Just feels like time is just... Am I stuck in hell right now? What is this? What are you reading me, a poem?
You're right. You're right.
It's a great
okay.
poem, by the way. Kind of sad, but kind of like funny too. It's kind of weird. Like he's talking to a bird. Like, nevermore. And it's like, all right. No, I like it.
Shel Silverstein. Okay. Today's episode is all about our secret hobbies. Ding, ding, ding. Bargles goes, I want to do a Hobby Lobby episode. And I was like, come again?
I kind of wanted to do it at a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's. Like do it from their parking lot or just like post up and
Just sit in the paint aisle.
yeah. You know, I
my
like
favorite
those
aisle.
establishments. It's just all about
I
art.
love.
It's all about either displaying art or purchasing art or creating art of your own. I just
They
think
also
it's
have
great.
like home decor.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Surprising. And Easter, Halloween, Christmas.
Well, they
have
capitalize on every holiday, of
Sure.
course.
a lot of tinsel
That's where
goes
you
through
get
those
your
places.
stuff.
If you need tinsel, full disclosure,
Yeah.
they probably got it.
Vintage tinsel, Etsy.
So,
Gross.
I think that it is this question that I'm about to ask you is probably, it could be in the top 10 worst questions I've ever asked.
I'm so excited.
What is a hobby? I have the definition.
Okay, I'm going to guess.
But I want you to guess what is the definition of a hobby? We all know what a hobby is.
I'm going to say that it's an activity that you pursue that you can excel or get better at over time. Something to pass the time when you are not at your place of business, perhaps.
Okay.
An activity that you do that's extracurricular.
Okay, well.
What's the real... Miriam?
Miriam, hello? Oh, okay, well. A hobby by Miriam, hey.
She's under the coffee table. Wait, she's for me.
Okay, Miriam. What's a hobby say? So a hobby is an activity that is done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. So let me just quickly break that down. And by quickly, I mean we'll be here a while.
Oh, my God, Bargs.
By the way, a hobby is also an old term to describe a small horse or pony. So, gonna ride that hobby.
I'm allergic.
Right. So when we consider what a hobby is, it's based on the definition. It has 3 segments that all seem individually important, and that is an activity that's done regularly. So a regular occurrence. It's not just a one and done. A one and done, or even I'd say a two and done, that constitutes an activity, not a hobby.
I have an example.
Okay.
Skydiving. You might do that once or twice in your life, if at all. It's probably very rare that someone would take that up as a hobby.
True. The second component is that it's done in one's, quote, leisure time, which I truly enjoy my leisure time.
Okay.
So leisure time is a fancy way of saying free time. So you were dead on with stuff you do outside of work. Okay.
No wonder I don't have any
The
hobbies.
third thing is for plaisir. So that means you
If someone's listening for the first time, they're going to be like, where are you from? And is this a regular occurrence?
If you're listening to the podcast for the first time, welcome. My name's Bennett, a.k.a. Bargles Man 5000. Perpetually back here, and again, this is my wife, Arielle, and we have this show.
God.
And if you're just tuning in, we want you to subscribe. We want you to like. We want you to comment. We want you to email. We are a very needy bunch. And we will ask you for more when we figure out more to ask.
Yeah.
Fair?
But for now, Bargles.
For now? Thanks for tuning in. I'm trying to get through this. So if you can just...
God, I'm talking about the accent, Bargles.
Well, then they're getting a fair representation of the show, I feel.
Okay, it's cute.
The more voices that they're introduced to will be better for them in the long run. So the third point is for plaisir.
That's what she said.
So you must be getting some sort of joy, satisfaction from the completion of this activity.
Okay.
Voila. That's a hobby.
Okay. Great.
I looked up what common hobbies were, just to get a vibe. We all know.
What's the most common hobby?
The first thing that showed up was a bunch of clip art, and it showed a snorkeling set.
like Microsoft clip art?
Yeah, and it was like little fins, and like the little thing that comes over, and you go and you're looking at the coral reef, going like, whoa.
Oh wait, is that what snorkeling is?
Yeah, you got the little thing.
I know, Bargles.
So anyway,
scuba diving is where you go all the way.
That's right. You're great.
Get your mind out of the Sea of Cortez.
The what? You are.
Sorry, the Caribbean. Get your mind out of the Caribbean. So, what is the next hobby?
Well, no, I'm not going to go like that. What I'm going to say is I compiled what I would consider a pretty comprehensive list of different hobbies. Some I do, some you do, some we do together as one, and some, hey, now, Oscar the Grouch, get your mind out of the track.
Oh.
And that could be on here, actually, because I think that sexual activities could be considered a hobby.
Yes.
There are many people that regularly, in their leisure time, pleasure.
Yes, exactly.
And, satisfaction, joy, completion. And I think that I this is my little asterisk. I am mentioning it now. It is not part of the list. However, if you're out there going like, I like it, why don't you talk about it? I just did. So we move on. Let's start with a very common hobby.
Okay.
something you might be familiar with. Photography.
Okay.
That is a very common practice. Photography, both using digital, film, camera phones, editing software, that whole gambit. I don't want to take too much time. I want to spend time on some of the other ones.
Right.
But before you became a professional photographer, it was a hobby. Something you did for fun in your leisure time, for pleasure.
I had to take that class for high school as like a, what do you call it, an elective?
You were in photo. You were in a photo class.
Yeah. So like it was new to me, part of my schedule. It wasn't really a thing where I was outside of school being like, I need to get a camera.
Right.
I went into photo not knowing anything about it and not knowing that I would like it at all. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
I think it's a very fun hobby for a couple reasons. Great creative outlet. I feel like some hobbies, especially ones that we'll get into, there's a sliding scale of skill. Like that alliteration, sliding scale of skill. And so you have to be like good at it to really get joy out of it, I feel. But photography, where technology's at now, technology gives you a huge boost, huge helping hand to feel like you're already a few steps along the way. Even at the beginner amateur level, there's so many tips and tricks and YouTube tutorials and just inherent things in a camera, a brand new camera, that help you feel like you're already moving along. Because the more you like get skill in a hobby, I feel like that helps motivate you to make it a regular activity. Right? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That
that's all
was
I got.
beautiful.
I know. I just made that up.
I'm just going to throw out what I use really quick for my...
Now we're talking.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Like, what do we do? What do we use here?
So, well, for here we use 3 Canon M50 cameras, which is also what I use to film my YouTube videos.
That's a plug.
So, YouTube videos, I use Canon M50. And we use 3 Canon M50s for this here podcast on YouTube.
It's a great camera. Great starter camera.
My main camera... Actually, I wouldn't recommend this camera as like a photography still camera.
Oh, yeah.
Necessarily.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, technically you could, but I just wouldn't recommend it. I mean, you could get a little bit better for a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway.
I like that it's kind of like a lower tier camera. Well, not really lower tier. It's like a mid-tier camera, but it's still, you can put on different lenses. So if you feel like you've gone to the edge of the earth with this lens or that lens, take that lens off.
Something that you can switch the lens out with, and it's under $1,000. You're getting a good deal. Right. I know that sounds like it is a lot of money, but for photography, it's a good
par for the course for new lens.
And for my main photography, like print shop clients, I have a Canon 5D, which is an SLR camera, and then I use my phone a lot, especially for just fun Instagram, mobile preset stuff. And then for mobile presets, Lightroom Mobile, I have my own presets. Those are linked below. And Lightroom CC.
Bang, bang. Okay, so how about we move on then from, because we don't treat that like a hobby. Photography is not a hobby in this house, would you say?
Well,
we do it for fun in our leisure time, just for nothing than
well,
just
a great example of this is when we went on our honeymoon to Italy, and obviously I'm bringing my camera to the most beautiful place in the world. And I brought my big camera. I call it the Canon 5D. I call it my big camera because it's heavy, it's bulky, it's big. And I brought it out every single day that we left the hotel. I don't think there was one day where I didn't. And you had to carry the camera bag, and we would put like a beach towel in the camera bag. And I would just hold on to it and take pictures the entire time, all throughout us walking to the beach and back up all the way to our hotel. And I got some of my favorite pictures from that trip, and not even necessarily intending to have them be in the print shop, let alone some of our print shop staples to this day.
Well, the prints that we got from our honeymoon almost kind of reinforced the whole idea of keeping up with the print shop and kind of expanding on the print shop.
And investing in traveling for the print shop.
Right. It kind of changed the perspective.
For sure.
From the print shop being a hobby, as it were, of just a way to make a little extra cash with a couple prints, and then you learn a lot with some of these hobbies and how to transform a hobby into a business.
If you want
it can be done.
It can be done, but most of the time I feel like people might have hobbies to just take their mind off of stuff.
100%. Totally get it.
Yeah.
And why don't we go ahead and get into some of those?
Okay.
Can we do that?
I'm done talking about pictures.
Can we do that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
If you ask again, I'm jumping. Coffee table.
So I got a list here of some things. About 23 hobbies strong.
23 and me.
22, 20 something, about 20. And we do a lot of these. We also don't do a lot of these. So let's just kind of roll through some of these. And I'll say how I feel about it. You say how you feel about it. How about playing and listening to music? I also put in here like discovering new music.
Ooh, I love that.
There was a time, especially when I was in high school and early college, I would spend hours seeking out music, new music.
Yeah.
I'd find like the stuff I like, and then I would try and search on all different websites stuff like it. And I remember I'd download album after album. I didn't pay, but I downloaded
Napster?
something,
LimeWire,
and I would like listen. I'd spend time listening to music that I didn't even really enjoy, but I enjoyed like the quest to find the new thing, and that is the kind of process that led me to an artist like Bonobo. Like that's how I personally discovered Bonobo, was like trial and error through different stuff, and I discovered him, and then it's like, wow, this is like, when I first heard of Bonobo, it totally changed. Like it was my favorite thing for a while.
And he kind of can open up the door to so many other artists like that.
Well, especially at the time that I first heard him, like a little over 10 years ago, I feel like nowadays there's a whole like landscape of music that sounds like this down-tempo, electronic, Bonobo, style. And he even pulled his stuff from like Amon Tobin and some other influences, and all trickles down. But yeah, just some people just listen to music. And
you play music.
Oh yeah, playing music. That's a
Piano.
huge one. Yeah.
You've been getting so good. What's the Celine Dion song you've been practicing?
Well, there's a couple.
Which
ones?
A
couple. Well, it's all coming back to me now. I want to get.
And it's all coming back to me.
And it's all coming back. And then the famous one from the Titanic.
Oh, which one's the prayer?
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Oh,
I'm a big Celine Dion fan. Apparently, the prayer with Andrea Bocelli.
You have been playing. Why am I blanking on the Titanic song? What's it called? My Heart Will Go On.
My Heart Will Go On. Yeah.
Anyway, oh my God, just really quick, the Titanic iceberg bit on SNL last night.
Oh, very good.
Oh my God, Bowen Yang.
Yeah.
So funny. He dressed up as an iceberg, and he was being interviewed as the iceberg that the Titanic ran into.
Right.
Just go look it up.
It's definitely worth it. Pretty funny. Okay. Moving on. We have exercising and yoga as a hobby.
Oh. I guess you would call that a hobby.
Well, you're not exercising at work. You're definitely exercising in your free time.
Right.
It is pleasurable, but sometimes in the moment, it's like
some people do it and just hate it, though.
Right.
And they do it to just either stay in shape or feel good.
Right.
So.
But there's a bunch of, like, within exercising, I'm picturing a whole rabbit hole of physical activities.
Totally.
But
swimming, biking.
CrossFit.
Right.
Okay.
I love a good run. I did that this morning for the first time in a while. I came up the stairs and I was like beet red, so out of breath, and our neighbor was downstairs and he was like, how did the thing with the computer go? Something that we had talked about. And I was like, next week. I'm never like that, but it's been a few weeks since I've ran.
Did it feel good?
Oh my God. It was like perfectly chilly morning. So if I'm like wheezing, that's why. I get a little wheezy if it's been a while.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, love it.
What about reading how-to and or DIY books?
Books.
Well, I mean, I guess you could
Vlogs.
Yeah, same difference.
Watching DIY on YouTube, maybe? Is that a hobby?
I mean, maybe watching it's one thing, but doing it. I think the point is...
doing it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Like, you read a how-to book, you probably are going to do the thing you're reading about how to do the thing.
Right.
Right? I mean, you don't just read how to do the thing and go like, well, that was a good book.
I feel like the only thing I really DIY is stuff like this, like flowers like this. I'll get a bunch of ingredients at Trader Joe's and like just play and put it together, and then painting. And that's it. For DIY. I guess painting's a little bit different.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Because DIY could mean literally anything under the sun.
Right.
It means do it yourself.
True.
You could build a house yourself, DIY.
True.
You could like start a balloon animal company.
Don't spoil it.
No, sorry. How about playing sports?
Okay.
Playing sports is a hobby.
You like to play horseshoes with those guys.
Technically, that is a sport. Horseshoes?
Yeah. Of course it is.
Okay.
They must have professional horseshoes.
There's teams and there's points. Sport.
Is it playing horseshoe or playing horseshoes?
Shoes.
Playing horseshoes.
Plural.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Obviously, then when we say playing sports, and we're like, and she goes, "You play horseshoes, right?" That probably suffice to say, we don't play a lot of sports. Basketball, tennis, soccer. Even track and field and running is considered a sport of some sort.
What about roller skating? Is that in this category or is that separate?
I didn't even write that down.
Oh, well, that's something I do on occasion.
Oh, okay. Well, this would be the time to bring it up, I think.
I would say on average, like I'm being very fair here, I would say on average once every 10 days, I'm roller skating outside.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Right? Don't you think?
Just about.
2 to 3 times a month, maybe?
Yeah.
Depending on the schedule.
Yeah, get a little workout, get a little sun, have some fun.
Yeah, it's great.
That sounds like a hobby.
Yeah, catch me on the Carlsbad Boardwalk this summer.
It's going to be a good summer.
But if there's a lot of people, then no, definitely not.
How about watching documentaries?
That's so specific. What's your favorite documentary?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
I was going to say that.
The cinematography is insane. I feel like it was like one of the first Netflix docs that like really just...
I'll never forget.
Did it so well.
Yep.
The music, cinematography, the story itself is so pure and inspiring. Whether or not you like sushi or anything like that, it has nothing to...
Say the title one more time so that people...
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
On Netflix.
I'm confident.
Do you think it's still on Netflix?
I don't know.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, if you can find it, tune in. It's an excellent story about a masterful sushi chef and his sons, and things like that.
What channel is it on, or what service?
I feel like it's Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Channel? Do you like how it's so the future? What channel is it on? Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or what's the other one?
HBO.
Right. That's it now.
No, Paramount.
Well, yeah. Well,
Paramount Plus. There's going to be more by the time this episode airs. So.
Movies are going to streaming.
They're not going. They're already there.
They're already there.
Yeah, they've been there. They already know.
Yeah.
What about hiking?
Oh, that is one that
hiking's kind of like in exercising, kind of. But
we've shared that.
Hiking, yeah.
We've shared that hobby.
We love hiking.
We do it together. Oh. We love the Top of the World Laguna hike. It's been a while, but love her.
What about bird watching?
I can't say that I enjoy or participate or know anyone who does.
I think bird watching is a very underrated hobby.
Underrated, yeah.
Like, it incorporates some of the other very artistic, peaceful, pleasure-giving leisure activities. Like, there is some level of exercise. There is some level of getting better at it. It's very subtle. Very, very subtle. But you can't do it in your garage.
You have to have a notebook and a pen. And you have to be very patient. And you have to have
a nice set of binoculars.
You have to have a good eye. I swear there was someone on a trip that I did where it was like a group trip somewhere, like a stranger I didn't know. And they were like, oh, that's a canary whippoorwillow Statutorius. And I was like, okay. You are
Statutorius?
I'm trying to make it sound like I know what I'm saying, okay?
It's like okay.
No one will ever believe me.
Fair enough. Fare thee well. How about gardening?
That's cool.
Yeah. Gardening and plant development.
You know who keep up with their garden? Their yard?
Who?
My parents. They're very good at that kind of stuff. Like taking care of stuff.
We like flowers. We have a couple plants. We do have some green plants. I believe that having plants in your house is key.
We have a few.
For just kind of feeling the feng shui and feeling like your space is participating in plant life.
When we move, whenever that may be in the future, I would love to get more plants.
Of course.
Tall ones, mature ones.
Very well. What about cooking and baking as a hobby?
I love it.
Love it. I feel like I've come and gone with that.
Yeah.
I've come and gone with that. Like, there was a time where I was very like, oh, I want to try new recipes, new dishes.
Right.
I got a hard on for fried chicken for a little while. And I was like, I want to try this kind. And I was making it a lot. So I was getting a lot of different oils.
You go through
different
phases,
chicken sizes, different seasoning options. And then looking back, it's like, wow, that month of fried chicken was pretty damn fun.
Yeah.
But it also was very fattening and a lot of work.
I'm feeling motivated because I just got that really pretty book, Sweet Laurel Savory. Definitely check it out if you're looking for a cool new cookbook. It would actually be a really pretty gift too, because it's so beautiful inside and out. But really, really good looking savory recipes, gotta say. But yeah, I love baking. I love making cakes. I think I can make a good cheesecake. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You've cheesecake bites, full cheesecake. I've seen it. I've seen it. What about playing board games / card games, parlor games, party
The only
games?
thing I like is Monopoly Deal.
It's a great game.
And Gin Rummy.
I think Monopoly Deal may be superior to tabletop Monopoly.
Yeah.
It might
so
be.
Sorry if you're in the board game Monopoly camp, but try Monopoly Deal.
Like,
it's so fun.
I'm not exaggerating. You can get in more games.
Yeah.
Therefore, it can be more competitive. And the more games you play, the more strategic you can get.
Right.
The better that you'll be. Because if you only play one game in 3 hours, well, you're not getting very good. You only got the one game. But if you play 3 games in 1,
So Dave,
6 games in 6.
what if I sold Boardwalk for $500, and then I passed go and collect $200? How much money would I have?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, $700.
All I know is sometimes it's better to get the corners than it is to get the sides.
I am.
You want to get the corners, you're supposed to get the sides. I don't know. I'm just saying. Don't take my advice, but I am a winner. Okay.
Oh,
next.
my God.
How about listening to podcasts? Is that a hobby? Listening to a podcast?
For me, it is. Yeah. What about you?
No.
Yeah. You just edit this one and then move on.
No, I can only I can
That's
be
so
I can
funny.
be one. I can be in one.
You know how I always have my headphones in?
You're always listening to this.
Always a podcast.
I used to be listening to podcasts before we started the podcast. That's
I used
the
to
thing.
be one.
Like I was into a bunch of podcasts.
I know you were.
I was into Bill Burr's podcast,
Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan, Mark Maron, like a bunch of stand-up comedian podcasts, Your Mom's House, stuff like that.
Oh my God,
and
they're
then
so
the
funny.
more we've done this podcast, I don't know, my tastes have changed.
Sure.
Tastes have changed. But I think it's the growing podcast network of topics and perspectives, talent. You can get whatever you want. Like everything we're talking about here, there's a podcast for it. There's probably dozens for gardening, bird watching, hiking, what's true crime documentaries. Like there's a podcast for everybody.
I'm going to shout out a couple.
Go for it.
Recommendations.
Yeah.
There's one called Almost 30. 2 gals, so cute and funny, so real. Love them. All sorts of stuff. They interview people, life, they talk about life and love and so many different things. Feels very relatable. And then there's one called Per Our Last Email. It's so funny. It's all about client horror stories with freelancers. And it is so good and juicy. You got to take a listen. And yeah, those are my 2 that I've been loving consistently lately.
I have 5 more.
Okay.
And obviously, I mean, there's a million more. Because even, these are just some of the finer ones that have a lot of people backing them, Facebook grouping them.
Facebook group.
Painting, drawing, stippling. So you paint.
Sometimes.
You draw.
Sometimes.
You charcoal. You clay.
I have charcoal.
You oil.
No.
You pastel.
You're getting too far away now.
You Crayola.
I love Crayola.
You burnt sienna.
I love the name Sienna.
Okay, we'll move on.
I love painting. I feel like it's been one of those things where it's like I always want to do it, and it's always the last thing on my list. Couldn't tell you why. I need to just
prioritize.
Part of it is having the space because I love doing big pieces. So having no space to go to and having to set that kind of thing up and then tear it down is I guess I just need to prioritize.
Creativity is a whippoorwill.
It's fleeting.
It's like a little fox. If it was a creature, it'd be a fox. If, that artistic lightning bolt is a fox. It's beautiful. It seems like it's not even moving. It's just with the wind blowing its hair, and then it's gone. Just stole your hat, and it's gone.
Oh, I just kissed the microphone.
Favorite documentary of all time, one of them anyway, and it just came to me, is the Grizzly Maze with the Timothy Treadwell. Werner Herzog narrates it, and he's the guy who talked like this. And he's either the Timothy's with the bears. It's a really good impression. I don't care what anybody says.
It's really good.
He's here, he's there. He's in one of the shows with the Tom Cruise, and he's like, I am this, I am that. Is this? I don't know. The more I do this, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's so good. Such a good impression.
I love how good you think it is.
It's very good. And then
say Bargles in that voice.
Bargles. No,
say I love you, Bubbles.
Okay, we can move on. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. It's your show.
No, sorry. Couple more. How about decorating and or redecorating?
I'm raising my hand.
I think that is
one of my favorite things.
Excellent hobby.
Yeah.
It's an excellent hobby.
Yeah.
To mess up your space. Just change it up.
I'm feeling incredibly uninspired and bored in this apartment. In case you didn't know, if you've been listening for a long time, you don't even need to hear me say that.
Fairly well.
I am done living here.
Playing video games.
Bargles, you take the floor.
I play video games.
Yes, you do.
I used to play more. And
what's
now
your favorite
I
game right
play
now?
Less.
Aki?
Well, now I've moved from being a Sony PlayStation aficionado to a Nintendo Switch player, and so there's a transition there. And I did recently play the new Paper Mario Origami King. I can say I give it a 3 out of 10. I'm currently playing Octopath Traveler.
I call it Aki.
I don't know how much more time we should spend on this topic, so
just say the last one that you play on your phone. Just with the last.
Oh, Hearthstone. I've been playing. Yeah. I've been a Hearthstone card game on my phone for years. I remember when it first came out. I'll sometimes go away from it for months and months, but I typically will come back to it to check it out, and it's one of those games. I like it. I feel like I'm good at it. And what else can I say?
I call it Hearthy.
We'll play some Mario Kart every now and again. Yeah. I think video games are, one of those things. We have a neighbor that is a professional gamer, and he plays League of Legends. And he's in a tournament right now, a cash tournament. And it's like, these words are just like, they're crazy to me.
Bless
he's in
him.
a cash tournament for League of Legends. And it's like he comes out of his apartment at 4 p.m. He's like wiping his eyes. He's like, I need to get some breakfast. It's like, holy hell. Okay, and then the last one on my list here is collecting stuff.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, because I collect stuff.
I think
I don't
you
know
have
this is
a collection.
I have a couple things I collect.
Tell him.
I collect comic books. That's more of a recent thing. I haven't always. I did when I was a kid. I took many years away from even giving a dang about comic books in general, although I like the Marvel stuff.
Right.
So I collect comic books now. There's only but so many that I even want, and so that's kind of like a growing collection. I love the art, especially comics from the 70s.
The Bronze Age?
The Bronze Age is what it's called. So my hobbiness has trickled into you. It's the Bronze Age is what I...
It's because I'm good at remembering stuff.
Other things I was addicted. I'll say I was addicted to collecting records for many years.
Yes,
I would get paid. I'd get my paycheck. I'd get it cashed, and I'd buy a record or 2 or 3. If it was a birthday, I'd buy myself records. If it was a Christmas, I'd buy myself records. If we were traveling to another place, like a Seattle, a San Francisco, a Los Angeles, I would find a record store. I would go there. I would buy a stack of records.
I remember going to Rasputin in Berkeley.
Great record shop.
What was the Amoeba?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Amoeba.
Amoeba. I said Amoeba. Anyway.
Do you not collect anything?
Clothes.
That's collecting.
Fruit. But if it gets eaten, is it really a collection?
No. You don't collect fruit. You dirty rat. You dirty rat.
You little baby.
How dare you?
Yeah, come at me right now. What are you going to say? We're in a fight right
now. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got. That's my list of hobbies. We went over them. Hey, maybe one of them's yours. If it is, let us know.
Yeah. Have you skydived?
Skydived?
Have you skydived?
Skydiving?
Is it skydiving? Skydived. Have you skydived before?
Have you gone
skydiving? God, I'm so sorry. God. The grammar people now are
they left a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. So sorry. So sorry.
That's my list of I don't know how any of these are a secret hobby.
I don't know who knew that you collected comic books from the Bronze Age, so that's a secret.
I guess so.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to send in a comic for me to have, P.O. Box.
I actually do want to get a real P.O. box though.
Really?
For PR stuff.
I'm trying to think. What's that? Just send it to Zoom.
PBSkids.org, Boston, Mass. 02134. Send it to Zoom.
Yeah, that's like making volcanoes out of like baking soda.
Teach us a recipe. Tell us biology. Tell us a joke, rhythm, or some poetry. And if you want to see it coming out of your screen, write your name and your address and do what? Take a wild guess. Email.
So, thanks for tuning in this week and every week to the All About It podcast. The show would be absolutely nothing without viewers and listeners like yourself.
Absolutely nothing.
If you would ever like to support our endeavor here at the All About It production facility, you know what to do. Go to arielvay.com, prints, presets, and there's more on the way.
There's probably more coming soon. Keep your eyes out.
Use code ALLABOUTIT at checkout to receive 0% off. It's like a Black Friday weekend all year long to our favorite people, and that is you.
Code is All About It. We love you very much. Follow along at All About It Podcast on Instagram. And we'll see ya next week.
Till next time.
Bye.